From Hollywood, California, where the weather is usually sunny, but once it rained and people still talk about it, it's the Josh Macuga Show. Tonight's guest, SamBashor, and now your host, a man who once found a $50 bill on the street and spent it all at Taco Bell. It's Josh Macuga.
What's up, Josh Macuga Show fans? Back here for another episode. Before I let you know who is here, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, at Josh Macuga. Subscribe to the channel here. Tell all your friends. I know that's award season coming up, so if you happen to go to the Oscars, make sure you wear a Josh Macuga Show pin. If somebody asks you what you're wearing, you say you're wearing the Josh Macuga Show. It's an easy way to promote the brand and really appreciate it. Thanks, Angelina. You're one of my favorites. Tonight, my guest, you guys have seen him on SourceFed. He takes a lot of shots on the internet, currently on Only Stupid Answers, and he beat me in a schmodown, but I don't hold that against him. Ladies and gentlemen, SamBashor!
Oh, thank you.
Sir.
How's it going?
Great to see you, bud.
Good to see you too. Thanks for having me.
No, come on. Funny thing is that every time I've had one of your co-workers or friends, say a Steve Zaragoza or Brie Esquig, Maude Garrett, everybody has always said, get Sam on the show, get Sam on the show. So I'd never met you, and usually I try and meet my guest first before I reach out on a blind email and be like, hello, my name is Josh, and I host a show. So you beat me in the schmodown. I was like, this is my opportunity. So now that you're here, we're doing it. We're making it happen.
I'm very excited. No, I've watched your show before.
Oh, that's a first of a guest to do that. All right. All right.
I'm excited, so thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. So I want to know, basically, you were at SourceFed for a while. What happened? Where did that all go? And now what is Sam doing now? What's your goals?
Well, that's lots of happening. So we did SourceFed. I was a part of SourceFed for actually 5 years. I started out as an intern, unpaid, and then I got hired on, and then from there I worked my way up from associate producer, host, and then I moved over to SourceFed and SourceFed. So that was pretty fun. But after it ended, actually during that, a friend of mine, DJ Woldridge, he was part of the team for Schmodown.
Of course.
Hell yeah. We created a podcast called Only Stupid Answers. Okay. So this year, the goal is to take that podcast, which we talk about movies, TV shows, comic books, even sci-fi stuff like cryptids or UFOs, because it's always fun to talk about that. It's always fun. We want to make that a YouTube network, or we want to pitch it somewhere. We want to do an animated series. We've got a lot of fun ideas.
Awesome.
We'll see what happens in 2018, but that's my goal right now.
Where did the name Only Stupid Answers come from? What was the...
Oh, well, we wanted no dumb questions because we wanted it to be more encouraging to come, to join. But sure. I think somebody else has gotten the name now, but originally it was it was a Photoshop tutorial podcast, and I was like, I don't want to go up against Adobe for this name, so we'll do the opposite. We'll do Only Stupid Answers, and it becomes OSA, it becomes a fun name.
Yeah.
And from there, we built this whole podcasting thing.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. And first of all, I think if you were to do a podcast every time Adobe updated, you could do one every day, because we get an invitation every day. What's been a highlight so far with Only Stupid Answers?
It's been crazy. We got my friend Tony Rivolori came on to the show.
Yeah, from Spider-Man.
Yeah, and we talked about Spider-Man, which is a lot of fun. We got another friend of the show, Sam Humphries, who was writing Green Lanterns for DC Comics, and now he's writing Nightwing. Wow. And he just opened up about how he got his start in comics. It was really inspiring and eye-opening. That was pretty cool. But overall, we launched a Patreon with it, which has been very scary, because we're like, hey, is this a weird thing to do?
Asking people for money.
Exactly, yeah. And so, but I wanted to make it no, they're getting something really special. So they're getting actually double the podcast that normally we'd be sending out. Awesome. Also, they get bonus videos, live chats. They get care packs, which are the most fun for me to put together.
Does your mom put those together? Because my mom put the care packages together in college. You know what I mean?
Of course.
This is great.
There's a little love in there.
Yeah, of course.
My mom definitely helps.
What, were you always a comic book kid, comic book movie kind of a thing? Because I'm obviously a little bit older than you, but these comic book movies for me was the 1989 Batman. I was I was 6 years old, and that movie changed my friggin' life. I loved those Batman movies. But then as they got worse and worse in those Joel Schumacher days, then the superhero genre really didn't do anything until basically Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Right? But you kind of grew up with like the renaissance of the superhero movie. Was that kind of like what did it for you? Or
I mean, I was always excited. I remember as a kid when the Justice League cartoon came out on like Cartoon Network, it scared the shit out of me. Like the first episode, it's like body snatchers and people shape-shifting. I was like, I'm not watching that. But I definitely like Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 3, not Catwoman. And then it took a while, and then like Iron Man. I got into it casually.
Okay.
But actually with SourceFed and SourceFed Nerd, I was like, I need to get into like a specific genre of nerd because I love sci-fi. Doctor Who was like my thing for a while.
Okay.
Because I love everything about what that show's about.
Yeah.
But I finally like took the dive. I asked my friend DJ, who was actually working at SourceFed at the time. I was like, what am I supposed to read? And I bought like a bunch of graphic novels and I sat down and I read through all of them. I read. When I consume like media, I do it at an unhealthy pace. Like,
so you're basically like one of those commercials like, would you like to teach your kid to read 65 pages in a second? That's you. Got it.
Yeah, I go through like volumes in a day. Like it's too fast.
So you're a binge reader. Like I can binge watch anything. I'm really good at binge watching. I can multitask like you wouldn't believe.
2 years I did all of Smallville in like
Holy
2 months.
shit.
There's 10 seasons. You know what happens after when you watch it like that? Because every episode
You start to think you're dating
together.
Kristen Croik? Yeah, I got it.
I just like hearing the theme song just brings back like this rush of memories.
Yeah.
It's great.
Who sings that song? Is that Lifehouse?
No. It's they did pop up on Smallville though, and they did sing the song at like a
prom, right? Yeah, I saw that episode. Boom.
Everybody, it's so good. Lifehouse, by the way, came on the show too.
Burn.
So much.
Love it.
But no, I made the call. I sat down, I read it, and I realized, oh crap, I really love this, and so I started getting in more and more and more, and I kind of decided like DC's more my route.
Got it.
And I realized, oh crap, Flash is like my favorite because he's got time travel, he's got multiple universes, super speed's the coolest power, it's my favorite. And from there, I just got in and like further and further into it with Marvel and like Valiant and indie comics, and it's become like unhealthy now. I gotta like budget out how much I spend.
You should hang out with my dad. My mom like has to curtail my dad's comic purchases. It's really funny. Like he's close friends with like the comic book store owner in our town is legitimately the dude from The Simpsons. Like they look alike. The first time I ever met him, he's like, I hear that you're a fan of the Jack Nicholson Joker, which I think is a travesty to comic books. And I was like, okay.
Wow, you're fun.
Yeah, you're awesome. Yeah. He's like this 65-year-old like curmudgeon. But yeah, I get it, man. Consuming and there's so much to consume. So yeah.
Decades. It's just, and it always changes, and there's like, oh man, and it's fun to go into like subreddits or like blog communities when like people get angry about it because I don't care, but I just want to read like what is it?
The passion.
Yeah, what's gonna make you so angry? Is it the costume change? Yeah.
Like my dad was so upset during Batman v Superman. He like called me. He's like, what was that? He's like, if you go back to these issues, and he starts like reading me scenes. I'm like, Dad, it's fine.
It's over the phone. There's pictures. This does not help.
Yeah, and he doesn't get FaceTime. He's like the dad that like FaceTimes there. He's the best. But it leads us perfect into tonight's game. We're gonna come back and talk more. But tonight's game is called I Need a Hero. All right, so how I Need a Hero works is I've written out some heroes in here. They're heroes that I've invented. Now, they may exist somewhere on a subreddit, as you said. But I'm going to have you pick a superhero out of here, and then you're going to tell me what their superpower is and like a storyline for a possible movie or whatever you want to do with them. You're a funny guy, you're an improver, former SourceFed nerder, now only stupid answers. You have this in you. I know it.
I'm very excited about this game. You thought about selling this? Because this would be a lot of fun. It's kind of like Super Fight.
Yeah.
Let's go with Miss Splenda. Oh, everybody knows this. She worked in a factory, of course, the Splenda factory, and she was staying late one night to get some overtime. And she's raising 3 kids by herself, bless her heart. And something goes wrong. She falls into a vat of Splenda, and everyone's like, "Oh, we gotta." Her bosses are scrambling. They're like, "No, we're just gonna write this off as an accident. She never worked here." They try to cover it up. Little they know, she slips out of every villain, slips out of like the sewer pipe or whatever that is, and she puts herself back together. It's kind of like a Sandman-esque, but also healthy alternative to sugar.
Sure.
Yeah. So she at first goes on like a violent rampage of like taking out the bosses that like try to cover up this, and also tries to get her kids back who've been taken by child services.
Oh, yeah.
So it's deep. You're like, oh man, I can feel for her because she's already trying to provide for her family.
Right.
and this just unfortunate accident. Like, but also after that, like she's about to like kill this like one boss. And of course, the same scene that happens in every movie. The son of that boss comes in, and she's like, "Oh no, the parent too. I can't do this. Oh no, I vow to be a good guy. You know, whatever." And then from there, she through like the next like 7 years, she tries to get her kids back, but at the same time, she's fighting crime, and like she's fighting a lot of like fire-based villains because when sugar hits fire, it's not good. I'm thinking of sand. I'm thinking of sand.
Sugar melts, but
yeah. Oh no.
let me tell you a little something.
Caramelized.
I worked in honey baked ham. That's how you glaze a ham. You put
Yeah.
sugar and you could a blowtorch and get it. But I like where it's going. Now here's my question: is like the first time she realizes that she's made of Splenda, she order coffee and just like rub her fingers and sugar comes out of her fingers, like her body's made and it just like reforms on her.
I know exactly. That's how it's gonna work. And a lot of people like you're gonna finally get the MCU quip machine making a joke of like, "Oh, is that coming out of you? Is that like a part of you?" And you're like, I didn't want to think about that. That's gross. But yes, that's how she does it. Like when she's cooking, she's like Cinderella when they're like in the kitchen or whatever. She's
all
just
of her
sprinkling.
sweets.
Yeah.
Healthy for you.
Exactly.
Tastes good.
Oh, wait, healthier.
Healthier. Who knows?
Yeah. That's a big question. Eventually, when they get to like, you remember like they went through a phase in the '70s with Green Arrow when they're like, no to crack, and like in this, it's like no to sugar additives or whatever, and like she's gonna be like a face of ridicule and criticism, but eventually she's like, no, I stand by my biology, and I'm going to save lives by not eating sugar.
You just wrote an entire graphic novel. It'll be on sale at your local comic book shop soon. Let's do a couple more.
Oh yes, please.
Yeah.
All right, Miss Splenda. Who's her teammate? Everyone's favorite, Lady of the Night, but Knight.
Yeah, Lady of the Night.
Well, this woman's actually time traveler. She's a time traveler.
got
she
it.
was the. How many are usually in the round table for King Arthur?
12?
12 sounds right. Or 12. 12, yeah, go again. 12.
Plus Lancelot, the baker's dozen, I think.
And then an extra one, 14, is the Lady of the Night.
Got it.
Or you switch it up, and this is Lancelot. Lancelot's actually a woman in this universe, which is a fun little. She's the confidant of King Arthur, but something happens, magic, wizard, Merlin, evil person, something. She freezes, wakes up modern day, but she's got all of her values of past, and now she fights mystical villains in modern day.
Baltimore.
There we go. I was gonna go with Columbus, but I like Baltimore more.
okay.
It's a little bit more happening than Columbus, Ohio.
Okay.
Yes. And her main...
Spoken like a true California kid. Columbus, Ohio. Yep.
Thank you, Tommy Boy, for teaching me that.
That was Sandusky, but close enough. All right.
Man,
Callahan.
Best movie ever.
One of 100%.
But she fights villains. She's fighting modern day dragons. Maybe trying to figure out how to use smartphones. Oh, the hilarity ensues.
It's basically like Black Knight meets, remember Black Knight with Martin Lawrence? Mixed with...
Yeah, I thought you meant the Marvel one, but I love that movie. Yeah.
Martin Lawrence, which is awesome.
He's wearing the jersey, running around. Yeah, I remember.
Mixed with, was it The Last Night when they came over and they're like puking in the car at the beginning of the movie? It's like the guy from The Professional and something else.
That sounds familiar. I've definitely seen Black Knight more than I've seen Last Night. I've definitely watched that movie multiple times in
What's the
theaters.
one with Heath Ledger? That's First Night? First Night.
First Night.
I think.
I do remember the poster with Heath Ledger on there as a knight.
It's a good one.
Knight's Tale. Is it Knight's Tale?
Knight's Tale.
Knight's Tale. There we go. All right,
let's do two or three rapid fire ones.
Okay.
Like do some quick
Ooh,
ones.
we'll go quick. We got Dr. Magic Pants. Oh, okay. So he, a magician.
Yeah.
Horrible. He's a horrible Vegas magician.
Oh yeah.
And
but
he's
like way off the strip.
Way off the strip.
Got it.
He's basically just out in he's a stand next to a gas station.
Sure.
He's like, he can't even get on the strip. So he goes to a magic shop and it's mystical. It looks like Ollivander's Swan shop and the Harry Potter things. And so he's going around and he's like, I gotta get a new outfit, I gotta redo my old show. So he's like, what about these pants? And the old like decrepit person's like, oh, Houdini, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, all right. And then buys that, puts them on. All of a sudden, he's flying around, he's making portals via pants.
It's like the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, but magical pants.
And he gets all the knowledge to be a real wizard through the pants. Like osmosis through the pants. But if like anyone can put on the pants and like use that for evil, but he vows to do it for good, also have a really good show in Vegas.
Are we talking jeans, chinos, like a cargo pants?
I'm feeling parachute, like a lot of give around the ankles.
Yes,
yeah.
Good call.
All right, this is a great team. And
Super team.
Finally, Wiggle Woman. Very similar to Elasti-Woman from
Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four.
Jessica Alba?
No. That's Incredibles. Thank you so
Incredibles,
much.
got it.
But Mr. Fantastic, the very
Sure.
same. Except for she's got restless leg syndrome.
Oh.
And that reverberates all the way through her body. It was a tragic accident at a shoe factory, where they were making the plastic of the shoes, and she fell in the fat like
Miss Splenda.
like Miss Splenda did. But with the restless leg feet, there's a connection there with the running shoes. She's constantly wiggling. She's constantly nervous, and it's always a problem with her dating life. And so there's a way to
Holding
connect with
coffee
it.
kind of
Yeah,
thing.
it's very hard for her, but she uses that wiggling to wiggle out of tough situations.
Boom. Wiggle Woman, Miss Splenda, SamBashor, I need a hero. Well done, sir.
Thank you.
We're going to go to a quick commercial break. We'll be right back after this.
Cool.
According to the Surgeon General, 9 out of 10 people drink Magic Hat beer, which is why it's called Magic Hat number 9. The first 8 people loved it so much that when the 9th person came around, they said, hey, drink Magic Hat. And by the time they got to the 10th person, they thought, maybe that's just too perfect. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, so they settled on 9. 9 out of 10, Magic Hat number 9. Tastes like almost perfection. All right, and we're back with SamBashor. Sam, you're a hero in many circles. I kind of want to know a little more of the personal side of SamBashor. You know, you're out here. Do you find it hard to date in LA? Like, has it been a process, or were you a dude that was just love being single, or?
I mean, single has always been fun because first dates to me have always been a lot of fun. If you get like the right like parameters for like setting it up, like if you guys are really hitting it off, I think first dates are like the most fun.
Sure.
Because you get like there's really no pressure. Like you get to just kind of goof around. There's no pressure of anything else. You can just like grab drinks or grab dinner. You can go on a walk. You can go see a movie.
Go on a walk.
It's really fun. Like if you like, I think my favorite date was
Were you bumbling or Tindering or?
Probably, yeah,
Okay,
probably,
cool,
yeah.
cool.
We met, and this was like years ago.
Sure.
But we met. We were gonna go grab like some Mexican food and like get some margaritas. It was gonna be a great night. But I didn't like check distance settings on the app, and she lived just south of Anaheim, and so I drove down.
OC represent, okay.
And it took like 2 hours.
Sure.
She
just walk in naked. You're like, it took me 2 hours straight.
Come on. But no, like she was tired. I was tired, and she's like, "What if we just grab tea?" And I'm like, that sounds
Grab tea?
great.
Was
and,
she British?
No, that'd be awesome. But
She a fan of The Crown?
Maybe.
Okay.
I haven't talked to her recently, but hopefully, it's a great show.
It is fantastic.
But no, we grabbed tea, and it was fun because we went to a coffee shop. She had worked out previously, so she knew everybody there. They opened up for us, and they gave us some tea. And then we went to a park, and we just walked around for like 4 hours.
You're getting your steps in, Fitbitting it up, dude.
I felt great. I was like awake. I was aware. I was breathing great. No, we just
feeling that
talked.
park air,
Yeah.
just like all the greens and the oxygens. I get it.
But we just like talked, and it was just genuine and fun, and like we talked about favorite shows and like embarrassing moments from whatever, like just awkward Tinder stories because everybody's got some.
Yeah.
And it was nice, and it ended. I drove 2 hours home,
and that was that.
Then we had a serious talk about the distance, and we're just like, this might not work.
Best date ever of somebody I never talked to again.
You were great, thank you.
You were a California kid.
Yes.
Right? You grew up here in LA. What was like, because, listen, I'm from Pennsylvania, right? Other side of the world. I mean, like, you know, we always looked at California as this amazing, amazing place.
Sorry.
Sorry. What was it like basically coming out of high school and kind of like sticking around here? Was it like easy to kind of, with girls and whatever, like date girls that you knew before? Or did you kind of want to get the hell out and like really sow those wild oats from Anaheim all the way to Malibu?
There you go.
It kind of sounded like a California love.
It's
like
a swath,
rap.
yeah.
It was a swath.
I did want to get out because I grew up in like a suburb way up north of LA, but like LA was where we would always go. But I'm just like, after a while, everyone kind of gets a little tired of LA. Just like, even if you're coming here and you're excited, you're just like, there's so many people here. Everyone becomes like curmudgeon at like 16. But
you do a really good like Walter Matthau and Grumpy Owen.
Thank you. No, I wanted to get out, but like I couldn't for the life of me figure out what I wanted to do. I tried music therapy because one of my family members does it, and I was like, that's...
Like sound baths?
What is a sound bath?
Have you ever heard of a sound bath?
Ooh.
So I did my first sound bath about a week and a half ago. A friend set it up. Basically, it's like a meditation thing. I was doubtful. I watch sports on the weekends, but I never heard of a sound bath, right? And you go in there, and they like hit bongos and like play like different instruments and make sounds, and like you basically like sink into the floor. It's for an hour, and they'll come by and like put a bowl in your chest and like whack it, and like moves your whole body, and you're just like sitting there in complete darkness with like a thing over your eyes, and everything is just happening around you, and it's all in sound, and they don't say any words, and you're just supposed to like find yourself within it. I gotta tell you, man, it was kind of like a nice hour to be inside my brain, but also kind of like a little nerve-wracking because I didn't know what sound was coming next. Anyway, music therapy, back to you.
Music, that sounds amazing, by the way.
If you ever want to do a sound bath, I will gladly email you details.
When we're done, I'll definitely hit you up, because I've done the isolation chambers, where you go in there and you like float in the salt water, and they like play the sounds and you start hallucinating. It's real cool. Yeah. Anyways, I like tried to do that, but then I was like, I'm not very good at this. And then I went into film, and actually during that like transition, Philip DeFranco posted a internship link, and I was like, oh, I'll do that. I'm gonna stop school for a little bit, and then it kind of just snowballed from there. I was like not really like hardcore like decision making from there, because I just couldn't figure out what I wanted to do. I loved the YouTube landscape at the time. And now, I guess, but I'm not like super involved in it too much.
Right.
But that it turned into a job, and I ended up staying around here. So I'd love to move. But
what do you think has changed in the YouTube landscape? And you say it like that like has kind of taken you out of it, and you're more in a podcasting kind of a situation? Is that how you would kind of look at it, or more just like a production angle?
I work with and it's kind of more fun. Like, I guess it's like when you see the sausage, how it's made, and it's not like. It's gross now, but like it's not gross. But it's just like you kind of like you see.
That's why I'm always scared to work at Chipotle. Because if I see what it's like back there and it sucks, I'm gonna be like, "Fuck, I love this place so much."
I saw them bring a giant bag of beans out once, and I was like, "I don't like that. I don't like that. It looks like a Ziploc." No, it's just when you get to do it and you start meeting the people like that you like looked up to. It's always never what you expect, and that always just is discouraging. But you still get to meet some really creative people and people who are super passionate about what they do, and that's a new aspect I appreciate of YouTube. Like, have you ever seen Binging with Babish? He's the most inspirational YouTuber that I watch, even though he doesn't do inspirational like talks or anything. Sure. But his content is my favorite thing to watch. It's really the only thing I watch on YouTube now. Yeah, it's very cool.
Awesome. Well, I think it kind of leads us nice into the deep end. This is the kind of the part of the show we're gonna again, it's the deep end, a little bit deeper of a question. We're gonna spin a wheel of destiny down there, and you can just answer at. If you don't want to answer the question, you can pass, and we can go to another one. But let's hit the wheel.
That was cool. Biggest pet peeve. Yeah. People who are just distracted drivers, I guess, because that's I just immediately thought of a story that still makes me very angry. 2017, after SourceFed ended, I was like, you know what, I gotta do a little soul searching. So I did some travel. I hit up Hawaii, and I hit up Portland with a friend of mine, and Portland's so much fun. Yeah, it's so cool. Yeah. I got the Airbnbs. Sorry for the mic. I got the Airbnbs, and he got the rental car. Okay. So like, cool, we'll split it up like that. I had never been in a car with him before, I guess, or he'd always been a passenger in my car. He is the worst driver, and I've said this to him so many times. The visual that's in my head always is we're going down the highway. We wanted to go to the coast where they shot the end of Goonies, and when they come out to like the big rock, it was so cool. Okay. It was raining on the beach, and it was not like super happy, but it was cool.
But lovely.
But he was driving. He's eating a granola bar, he was driving with his knee, and he was changing the music right over here and checking like the Gmail, and he was changing lanes, and I was like, Oh, I hate this. And I was like, hey, at first I was being nice. I was like, hey man, I can drive if you're like busy and you want to eat. Like I can drive. And he's like, well, my name's on the insurance, so I think it'd be safer if I drove. I'm like, okay,
Yeah, definitely. Sure.
But now it's
Yeah.
I just like very slowly. I was like, when he would start to drift, I'm like, I'm just gonna pull you back up. Okay, you're drifting a little bit. But that I think right now, currently, it's started to irk me more and more when I'm in a car with someone and they're just not like focusing, or like they're turning to me to talk more often. I'm like, you don't need. We got it. Like I can hear you. You don't need to look at me.
I drove by a guy. This was like in October-ish, I think. As I remember, I was like so livid. I couldn't get around him because he was driving. Like every time I tried to, somebody else was doing it. And looked over, and he had his cell phone taped to his rear view mirror, and he was going like, and he was just driving like that, watching video on his fucking cell phone like that. And I was like, how has this guy not been arrested yet? This is ridiculous. Anyway, you want to do some rapid fire questions?
Oh yes, please.
He only has stupid answers. Let's see if that's true. In 3, 2, 1. You ever stayed friends with an ex?
Yes.
Ever got out of the friend zone?
Yes.
Anyone ever thrown you a surprise birthday party?
Yes.
You ever gone streaking? Do you try to eat organic?
I guess.
Favorite TV show of all time?
Psych.
Do you have any tattoos?
Yes.
Ever had a perm?
My hair just does that.
Where's your favorite pizza place in the world?
Ooh. Little Caesars. I'm sorry.
Hot
I'm sorry.
Yowzer.
I'm sorry.
Are you a fan of strip clubs?
I've never been.
Okay, you and Cobster can go together. Is your MySpace profile still active?
I've tried. I don't know how to get into it. It's still there, though. I know it's there.
Have you ever won concert tickets from a radio station?
No.
Pay for cable or a cord cutter?
Cord cutter.
Did OJ do it?
No, sizes. Hopefully not.
Goodfellas or Godfather?
I've never seen either.
Whoa!
I know I'm the worst of the worst person in the
2
world.
minutes and the production company goes crazy. Queso dip or guacamole?
Queso.
Comedy or drama?
Comedy.
Do you have any Canadian friends?
Yes.
Favorite Olympic sport to watch?
Bobsled.
Soap or body wash?
Body wash.
Do you make your bed every day?
No.
De Niro or Pacino?
De Niro.
Springsteen or Mellencamp?
Springsteen.
Best burger you've ever had?
It's called Bricks. It's
Bricks.
amazing.
Where is it?
It's in Santa Clarita.
Whoa.
It's a gem of nowhere.
Ocean or lake?
Ocean.
Ever been kicked out of a bar?
No.
Ever hooked up with a best friend's ex?
Yeah.
Ever been caught having sex by your parents?
No. No.
Fish or chicken?
Chicken.
Chicken or steak?
Steak.
Deodorant or antiperspirant?
I should do antiperspirant. Deodorant, though.
You ever painted a picture?
Yes.
Have you bourbon or scotch?
Bourbon.
Beer or wine?
Oh, well, beer.
Mozzarella sticks or jalapeno poppers?
Mozzarella.
Xbox or PlayStation?
PlayStation.
Christmas or Thanksgiving?
Christmas.
Elton John or Billy Joel?
Elton John.
Did you have a teenage rebel phase?
Barely.
Barely. 45 seconds. M&M's or Reese's Pieces?
Reese's Pieces.
NSYNC or Backstreet Boys?
NSYNC.
Go-to karaoke song?
Ghostbusters theme song.
Whoa, okay.
That's all I know all the way through.
Do you pee in the pool?
Yes.
Do you pee in the shower?
Yes.
You ever tried dog food?
Yes.
Would you rather someone text or call?
Text.
Is it okay for your significant other to fart in bed?
Yes.
Metallica or Guns N' Roses?
Guns N' Roses.
Do you own a gun?
No.
20 seconds. Laptop or desktop?
Laptop.
Does anybody even have desktops anymore? I should probably take that off. Do you like country music?
Yeah, it's okay.
Michael Jackson or Prince?
Jackson.
Dunkin' Donuts or Krispy Kreme? 10 seconds.
Krispy Kreme.
Barbecue ribs, buffalo wings.
Buffalo wings.
Flip cup or beer pong?
Beer pong.
Are homeschool kids just the worst?
Yes.
Are you worried about climate change?
Yeah, a little bit.
Sopranos or Breaking Bad?
Breaking Bad.
That's it. Dude, way to burn it down at the end.
you.
We got it. SamBashor.
I love the homeschool kids, by the way. Sometimes you're weird. I'll be honest.
Homeschool kids, they're just around. And they're
They're
always
there.
winning spelling bees. All right, that'll do it for the Josh Macuga Show. We'll see you guys next time. Instagram, Twitter, we'll put the lower third. You know where to find Sam. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time. Subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Go to Facebook. I'm also there. Support our Patreon campaign. If you're watching the Josh Macuga Show, you're doing something right. And that something right is giving random people hugs when they don't want them.